Horrifying things that happen on horror movie sets. What's good? Welcome back to the channel. How you day going? Morning, evening, night, whenever you're watching this video. You may notice a smile on my face. Some videos that will happen. The reason why is because I could be wrong, but I'm like 99% sure that the original Omen is going to be in the story. It should be included in here somewhere. When I say I don't think any movie, I'm gonna say it now. It may change towards the end, but I legit think that there's no movie backstory that'll ever compare to the original Omen. Yo, when I say ish, bad luck was just going on back to back to back to back to back to back. Like, it was not stopping. And it was legit getting to a point where it was trickling down to people who were not even in the movie. It was like family of people who was related to it, because it just kept on going. It legit felt like someone was trying to give them a sign like, yo, F this movie, it's not being made. But man, they still push through it. Yo, either way, go to check out horrifying things that happen on horror movie sets. My bad, I didn't mean to bring out the horror fanatic this early on you, but he may come out again. You want to check out the original video. Link will be in the description below. But let's go.
A lot of horror movies are legitimately scary, but in some cases, the events that took place on the sets of certain horror movies were more terrifying than the movies themselves. A number of horrifying incidents have taken place on the sets of some of the most successful horror movies of all time, before, during, or shortly after filming. Whether these incidents were fatal accidents, cruel twists of fate, or some sort of evil curse still remains debatable. Perhaps a good place to start would be the Amityville horror house, whose events may start to seem even scarier when you learn that horrors also took place on the sets for both the 1979 movie and the 2005 remake. The first Amityville movie starred James Brolin, who wasn't originally eager to take on the role, but eventually he accepted it because of something strange that happened. While reading the script one morning and getting to a scary section of the story, a pair of the actor's pants suddenly fell off a hanger, causing him to literally jump out of his chair in fright. James of course saw this as a sign that he needed to take the role, and the rest was history. Fast forward to the 2005 remake, with Ryan Reynolds taking on the part that was originally played by James Brolin. During filming, Ryan Reynolds, along with other cast members, claimed that every morning at exactly 3:15 a.m. they would wake up. The reason why that's terrifying is because 3:15 a.m. was the exact time that Ronald DeFeo murdered his entire family in the house. It becomes a whole lot more... Because 3:15 a.m. was the exact time that Ronald DeFeo murdered his entire family in the house. And it becomes a whole lot more creepy. At one point during filming, there was also an actual dead body that washed up near the filming set in the boathouse in the backyard of the house. Actors and crew members always suspected that there was an otherworldly presence during the filming of the movie. Whether they were right or just overly paranoid, who knows? The 2012 film The Possession is an unconventional horror movie that involves rabbis, Judaism, and a cursed Jewish relic called Dybbuk box that attaches itself to a young girl.
Oh, this sounds good.
A Dybbuk box is...
Don't be pulling my horror card. But I've never heard of this movie. This sounds freaking good. Yo, I just learned what a Dybbuk box. Blah. I just learned what a Dybbuk box is. Yo, these things are hella creepy, man. And it's one of those things also that we talked about the last horror video. My bad, you know the horror fanatic got to come out. It's one of those things also where it'll attach to you. So like if you open it and get to be in control of it and mess with it, and it will F up people around it, from at least from what I'm picking up so far. I could be totally wrong. I just started learning about this thing. I just started learning about jinns as well. Yo, those things are freaking creepy. And I did not know, I'm getting off track here. I did not know they were Arabic. Like, I didn't know it was Arabia. I didn't know that. Look, I ain't gonna say nothing else because it's already gonna get hella racist. But I didn't know that though. And also what I did not know, there's different types. Bro, freaking genies are jinns. I never freaking knew that. When I learned that yesterday, I was like, yo, this is like, it was like hella tripping me out. So I was like, so what if genies are not a good thing? And I always heard after you use the last wish, then it kills you. I always heard that story. I don't know if it's real or not. But back on freaking track though, my bad. But this is stage 1 knowledge. I just started learning about Dybbuk box so far. Isn't it one of those things? Well, I worded it a little better. Isn't it one of those things where it's like, yo, if you open it or somehow don't know exactly, basically it attaches to you as a person. So if I was like, yo, I'm done with this ish and I try to throw it in the river or leave it in the garage or burn it or bury it, it doesn't matter because it is attached to you unless you pass it on to somebody else. Is it one of those type of things? I don't know what those things are called, well, that situation is called, but I tried to talk about that last time, but I couldn't word it. Same ish. I don't know what that situation is called. But either way it go, I think it's one of those. I'm gonna let the story finish. I'm gonna watch this movie now, though.
Paranoid, who knows? The 2012 film The Possession is an unconventional horror movie that involves rabbis, Judaism, and a cursed Jewish relic called Dybbuk box that attaches itself to a young girl. A Dybbuk box is a wine cabinet claimed to be haunted by a Dybbuk, which is a malevolent wandering spirit that enters and possesses the body of a living person until exorcised. What happened on the set of The Possession left even the star of the movie, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, feeling very uneasy, and he already had a lot of experience acting in horror movies and shows under his belt. Some of the seemingly supernatural things that happened included lights exploding for no apparent reason, as well as chilly breezes wafting through closed sets for no particular reason. But the scariest incident occurred when the storage facility where all the movie props were being held caught fire and burned to the ground. A team of investigators concluded that the fire was not started from an electrical fault or arson, but the actual cause for the fire couldn't be determined. The Dybbuk box used in the movie, which played an important role in the movie, was destroyed in the fire, and the cast and crew later refused to allow the movie's producers to replace the Dybbuk box for fear that it was cursed.
Oh, shit.
And here at Blue Bunny,
Maybe you can burn this one, I don't know. And I don't know if the Possession one is done yet, but so far this one, it sounded more of a coinky-dinky, like a coincidence so far to me. And the Amityville one with the dead body being washed aboard, I can't help but to wonder. I don't know if it really happened that way or not, but I can't help but to wonder because I know a lot of people, when it comes to that movie life, go above and beyond. Shout out to my boy in Hollywood, who was the movie director. Hella fire. Hey, I know they go above and beyond. Don't give a damn about your feelings. Hey, if shit gotta get done, it's gonna get done. I'm not saying they're all like that, but I can't help but to picture that. So I'm like, yo, what if one of them faked some shit where even the body was just like, yo, let's trip their ass out even more. That's all I keep thinking.
The cast and crew later refused to allow the movie's producers to replace the Dybbuk box for fear that it was cursed. The Conjuring is a movie that's supposed to be based on the true story of the Perron family, who claimed to be tormented by supernatural entities in their Rhode Island home in the 70s. While several of the family members spent time on the set during filming, the mother refused to go anywhere near it, as she was convinced that several unexplained events that plagued the filming of this movie on set were proof that the spirits hadn't finished with them yet. For instance, when members of the Perron family were visiting, a furious gust of wind suddenly rose and seemed to swirl around them. However, nobody could see any movement in any of the trees just opposite them, movement you'd expect to see from any normal gust of wind. Just a couple days later, the hotel that the actors and movie crew were staying in caught fire and everyone had to be evacuated. And it doesn't end there. James Wan, the movie's director, recalls working late in his office one evening when his dog started growling at something. He would get up to investigate, but he couldn't find anything that would be antagonizing the dog. However, the dog had his sights on something across the room. It seemed he had focused on an unseen entity in one corner of the room. James took a break from working after this, having been legitimately freaked out. Vera Farmiga, who played the role of a paranormal investigator in the film, refused to take the script home with her, as she said it made her feel uneasy.
No bad, go back.
Legitimately freaked out. Vera Farmiga, who played the role of a paranormal investigator in the film, refused to take the script home with her, as she said it made her feel uneasy. She also couldn't read it at night because she became paralyzed by fear whenever she tried. After a phone call discussion with James Wan, Vera opened her laptop screen, and there were 3 digital claw marks from the upper right diagonal to the lower left. This wasn't the last time it happened, though. Her next experience came a few months later, literally on the day that she completed work on The Conjuring. She returned home to upstate New York, and when she woke up the next day, she discovered what she describes as 3 claw mark bruises across her thigh. In 1983, a movie based on the Twilight Zone series was released. During filming, actor Vic Morrow was killed on the set. Deaths on movie sets have happened many times, but what makes this extra disturbing is the fact that Morrow appeared to predict his demise just a year earlier. A year before filming of the Twilight Zone movie began.
Is it gonna be the way of something he actually wrote? Like one of, because I never got into Twilight Zone. That was way before my time. But I mean, I watched movies before my time. But yeah, I never got into that one.
Appeared to predict his demise just a year earlier. A year before filming of the Twilight Zone movie began, Vic took out a $5 million life insurance policy on himself, explaining to friends and family members that he had a premonition something bad was going to happen to him on an upcoming movie. He had seen it in a dream he had. Unfortunately, his premonition came true, because while filming a scene involving a helicopter for the Twilight Zone, the helicopter crashed and decapitated him. 2 child actors were also killed in the accident, which prompted a lengthy investigation and court case. It was later revealed in court that the movie's concept artist unintentionally drew an identical image in his sketches to what actually happened, a burned-out helicopter in the middle of a river, essentially foreshadowing the accident.
We got an ad real quick. Yo, that is crazy. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna let this ad play real quick. Yo, that is crazy. And the fact that we still got the movie is like, yo, that just shows. I'm telling you, man, people will go. When it's your passion, you're going to go above and beyond. It's like, even if I die, I'm going to get this shit out. Knew it was coming, but did not give a single fuck.
Revealed in court that the movie's concept artist unintentionally drew an identical image in his sketches to what actually happened, a burned-out helicopter in the middle of a river, essentially foreshadowing the accident. The accident led to civil and criminal action against the filmmakers, which lasted nearly a decade. One of the children's fathers testified that he heard John Landis, the director, instructing the helicopter to fly lower. All 4 parents testified that they were never told that there would be helicopters or explosives on set, and they had been assured that there would be no danger, only a lot of noise. John Landis and 4 other crew—
I ain't gonna lie, this one doesn't sound creepy. As I'm watching it, this one, it really sounds irresponsible to me. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog.
assured that there would be no danger, only a lot of noise. John Landis and 4 other crew members would be found not guilty on the 3 charges of manslaughter, having been the first time a director was charged due to a fatality on a film set. The 1976 film The Omen is another horror classic following the tale of a young boy named Damien Thorne, who was replaced at birth by his father, unbeknownst to his wife, after their biological child died shortly after birth. As a series of mysterious events and violent deaths occur around the family and Damien enters childhood, they come to learn he's in fact the Antichrist. The film almost wasn't going to be completed due to an alleged curse that surrounded filming of the movie. So many horrible things happened on the set of The Omen that it can be comparable to the amount of bad things to happen in the movie.
This gotta be number 1. Because if it's something that beats this story, I'm telling you, when I first learned about this story, it was like, it doesn't freaking stop. It just kept going. You kept getting it. It was like, back to back, back to back. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. Oh, now I'm trickling down to the family. Y'all better fucking stop making this movie. Here's another one. Here's another one. Here, it just wouldn't. I'm not even trying to overreact. It just wouldn't stop. Dog, I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Happened on the set of The Omen that it can be comparable to the amount of bad things to happen in the movie. The tragedies began with the son of the lead actor Gregory Peck taking his own life as soon as filming began.
It was, bro, it's even lightning involved in the stories. So this one it's really hard to look. I'm always honest. I tell you all the time. You hear it throughout the videos, right? This one even had lightning incorporated with the damn story, dog. I was like, it's to the point now. I was like, no, there's no freaking way. All right, I'm gonna let it finish. I'm gonna let Mr. Nightmare tell the story.
It can be comparable to the amount of bad things to happen in the movie. The tragedies began with the son of the lead actor Gregory Peck taking his own life as soon as filming began. The next incident was when a crew member suffered major injuries after getting into a car accident while driving to the set. But the tragedies didn't stop there. The scriptwriter's airplane was struck by lightning en route to the film's location. And if that weren't enough, an airplane in which Gregory Peck and the movie's executive producer were traveling in was also struck by lightning in a separate incident.
And it ain't done.
Harvey Bernhard, the producer, was on location in Rome when he was almost hit by a bolt of lightning himself. And believe it or not, the horrible luck involving airplanes continued. And it got much worse. One day, the crew had decided to use a private airplane to get from one film location to the other. However, just after the plane took off with a number of the crew on board, something went wrong and the plane went down, crashing into a road and hitting a car, which then crashed at a high speed into another vehicle. All 11 people involved in the accident were killed. Another tragic death associated with the movie set was that of Liz Moore. John Richardson, the Omen special effects expert, was driving through the Netherlands with Liz Moore when they were involved in a terrible car accident.
I think this one wasn't it like split in half some kind of way. I think it was something trippy with the accident though. I'm gonna let it finish. Oh my gosh. Rest in peace, yo. I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard it, I was like, yo, this can't be real. I'm definitely leaning more to all of this shit is not. I'm more 90% I believe this shit is real. 10% I believe some shit is made up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna let it finish, though.
He said was that of Liz Moore.
I think it was
John
a
Richardson,
weird way.
the Omen special effects expert, was driving through the Netherlands with Liz Moore when they were involved in a terrible car accident. Richardson escaped with very minor injuries, but Moore's head was completely severed when a tire smashed into their vehicle. This incident was eerily reminiscent of a scene in The Omen, in which the character Keith Jennings, investigating Damien's supernatural origins, is decapitated by a sheet of glass that comes loose from a vehicle on a construction site. Richardson later reported that just before the crash, he passed a road sign that read Omen 66.6 kilometers. Make of that what you will, but there's no denying that it's not too far off to speculate that the production of The Omen may have been cursed. That, or it was all just an outrageous coincidence. All that can be said for sure is that The Omen is a very iconic movie, and the chilling tales that surround its production have only helped to cement that legacy.
Yup. And that's what sometimes what makes me think, okay, is this story made up? But I was listening to a podcast that was talking about it, and they were like legit talking about, no, we did the research XYZ. Don't know if they actually did or not. Whatever, but regardless though, they were confirming everything. So I was like, man, this legit is crazy. It's more stuff than this too, as well. I kid you not, it is more stuff. But no, for real, I knew Omen was gonna be there, and boy, did I know it was gonna be freaking number one. Hella crazy, man. When I first heard it, and tragically, disturbingly, look, I watch horror, I listen to true crime, I do. Either way, go. I was on a road trip as I was listening to it, so it was like, oh my gosh, this is like so freaking beautiful, relaxing, amazing. The scene as I'm driving, because I like to listen to podcasts and shit when I'm driving, and I'm just listening to this story that's creeping me the hell out, and it's nighttime, and all I see is mountains and freaking trees and shit. So I'm just riding, and me and my girl, we just listening to it. I'm like, yo, this, thanks to other people's tragedies, I'm sorry, rest in peace. It's like, this is an amazing, beautiful scene right now. And it could have been any horror, as long as it was good. It was the way this was way before I knew about Mr. Ball and whatever. But we're just driving and enjoying someone on this podcast, just talk, and they're just telling horror stories. Every episode was about horror-ish. And I was like, yo, this is freaking beautiful. But yo, I'm too high because I'm zoning out right now. I just keep saying, yo, this is beautiful. But either way, go, I knew it was going to be number one. But yo, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here and enjoy my night. You go ahead and do the same thing. Enjoy your day, morning, evening, night, whenever you're watching this video. But I'm out.